Greetings, this is Dr. Della Welch again. We're talking about damages. This will be a tape that continues our discussion on damages. One thing that's important to remember is every breach of contract gives rise to a claim for damages. There are various types of damages, and the mnemonic I will give you is DRI. D is for damages, and we previously discussed expectation or compensatory damages, liquidated damages, and nominal damages in the prior tape. And the problem with nominal damages is they're just $1. So if the attorney is getting a third, that's not going to be very much money, 33.33 cents or 34 cents. So attorneys don't like those. And then our next area, we have to remember that punitive damages are generally not recoverable in contract law. But now I want to describe consequential damages, which are foreseeable damages. A man went into a factory to get a part of his mill repaired. And what happened is he didn't say anything that this mill was such an important part that it would shut the whole mill down if the part was not provided. And then when he does pick up the part, he tells the man, well, I'm damaged by how much you shut my mill down. And they said, well, consequential damages, you can't get them. But another case, let's say it's vacation time and you're hiking in Washington or Oregon and you see a sign, $1 million reward for a picture of Bigfoot. Well, what happens is you happen to have your gun and everything and you're all ready to hunt. You have your camera and then you're walking along and sure enough you see Bigfoot. You do take a picture. And then when you arrive home from your vacation, you take it to a lab, a photo lab, to be developed. And you heard that the reward for such a picture was $1 million. Well, when you do come and pick up your pictures, you find that there's been an accident in the lab. And they limit their consequential damages by saying, hey, here's one free roll of film because your pictures were destroyed in an accident. And you say, oh, you owe me $1 million for the picture of Bigfoot. And they say, no, that is incorrect. So stores know that, and they do limit the consequential damages. So D is damages, and we talked about the various types. R, another remedy, is rescission and restitution. Let's say that we go to Pasadena and we want to buy a used car. And the car salesman says, this car's been driven only by the little old lady from Pasadena, and it has 5,000 miles on it. In truth, it's been driven by Dan the drag racer, and it has 305,000 miles on it. Well, what we want to do is we want to rescind and we want to get restitution of whatever money that we paid for that car. And the R also stands for reformation. If there's an error, often called a scrivener error, where the wrong amount was stated, such as $100 an acre, everyone knew it was $1,000 an acre price, well, then you can have the contract reformed to reflect what the correct understanding was of the parties. I is an injunction, but in the contract law area, we refer to that as specific performance, to make someone do something or not do something. This happens in two cases, in land and if we have a unique subject matter. Let's say that we all visit the Huntington Library in Pasadena, and the person who is on duty agrees to sell us the wonderful painting Blue Boy for $100,000. Well, we all go in and we purchase that. And then when we come to pick it up, they say, April Fool, we're not selling it. Well, what we can say, this is a unique chattel or a unique piece of property. We can get specific performance. We can get a court order and make someone sell us that particular painting of Blue Boy. And then it also comes up for land. If I have a contract for land, someone doesn't want to sell it, then I can ask for specific performance. So remember the mnemonic, D, R, I. And then remember what each of the elements under damages are. And then remember that liquidated damages generally comes up under real estate contracts where the earnest money has been paid, and then the earnest money is something like $1,000 or $2,000, and sometimes you can get it back by saying that it's a penalty. Another important thing to remember is the parties have a duty to mitigate their damages. It's like if you're riding on the board and you injure your finger, you can't just let it go until it gets gangrenous. You have to go get it repaired. And in some states, if you enter a lease and the person backs out of the lease, you have to go and you have to find a new tenant. But there is a duty to mitigate or to lessen our damages. And remember, the general rule is the plaintiff cannot recover emotional damages for a breach of contract. Our next tape will be looking at problems to apply these various contract principles.